Let me continue the topic by learning applications of Kohlraasch law. So we have three applications. The first application is calculation of molar conductance at infinite dilution of a weak electrolyte. So as we know the diagram, the graph. So we have drawn the graph between the concentration and the molar conductance. So here the molar conductance has been taken in the y-axis and the concentration has been taken in the x-axis. So this graph we have seen already. For the weak electrolytes, we are not getting a straight line, right? So we are getting at a high concentration, the graphical line will be parallel to the x-axis, and at low concentration, the graphical line will be parallel to the y-axis. So in such case, we are not getting the intercept, right? So you know what is intercept? If it is a strong electrolyte, we are getting a straight line like this. If it is there, so we can extend the line. Here we will be getting a intercept, and that intercept is called as limiting molar conductance, right? So for strong electrolytes, we can find out the limiting molar conductance by using the graph, but in case of weak electrolytes, we are not getting the intercept, right? So in those cases, we are using Kohlraasch law to find out the limiting molar conductance for weak electrolytes, right? So by using strong electrolytes, the limiting molar conductance of weak electrolytes can be calculated. As we know that strong electrolytes, we have the limiting molar conductance, right? And weak electrolytes cannot be found out by using graph. So we are going to use the strong electrolytes to find out the limiting molar conductance of weak electrolytes. Let me take the three strong electrolytes: sodium acetate, hydrochloric acid, and sodium chloride. So by using these three strong electrolytes, we are going to find the limiting molar conductance of the weak electrolyte. So what weak electrolyte, what should be found out? Acetic acid. So weak electrolyte example is acetic acid. By using these three strong electrolytes, we are going to find the limiting molar conductance of the weak electrolyte acetic acid, right? So first what we have taken? Sodium acetate. So sodium acetate, what are the ions it will be produced? Na plus and acetate ion. So when it ionizes, it produces sodium ion and acetate ion. As per Kohlraasch law, we know that limiting molar conductance of the salt will be equal to the limiting molar conductance of the constituent ions, right? So the limiting molar conductance of the salt sodium acetate is equal to limiting molar conductance, the sum of limiting molar conductance of the constituent ion produced. So limiting molar conductance of Na plus limiting molar conductance of CH3COO minus acetate ion. Let me take, this is equation number 1, right? So next is strong electrolyte, we have hydrochloric acid. So let me find out the limiting molar conductance of hydrochloric acid. So HCl, it will be ionized into H plus and Cl minus. So according to the Kohlraasch law, we can write limiting molar conductance of the salt HCl is equal to the ions, limiting molar conductance of the ions, H plus ion plus limiting molar conductance of Cl minus ion. Let me take, this is equation number 2. And what is the third electrolyte? Third electrolyte we have, this is NaCl. Sodium chloride has been taken as a third strong electrolyte. Let me write the limiting molar conductance of sodium chloride. So when we write, what we are getting? Limiting molar conductance of sodium chloride is equal to limiting molar conductance of Na plus ion plus limiting molar conductance of Cl minus, as the NaCl has been ionized into Na plus and Cl minus. Let me take this is equation number 3. Now what we are going to do that, equation 1 plus equation 2 minus equation 3. So what it gives? So as you know that, what is equation 1? Limiting molar conductance of CH3COONA gives limiting molar conductance of Na plus limiting molar conductance of CH3COO minus. Let me write the left hand side first. What is first equation 1? Limiting molar conductance of CH3COONA plus, what is the second one? The second one is limiting molar conductance of HCl, right? So we will write limiting molar conductance of HCl, right? And what is the third one? Third one is limiting molar conductance of NaCl, right? Let me write limiting molar conductance of NaCl, right? So let me find out what it gives. So first, limiting molar conductance of CH3COONA, so which is equal to lambda naught Na plus lambda naught CH3COO minus. Let me substitute the values. So now we will get limiting molar conductance of CH3COO minus plus limiting molar conductance of Na plus, right? So next we have to write for HCl. So let me write. So lambda naught for H plus lambda naught for Cl minus. So next we have to write for NaCl. So minus lambda naught for Na plus lambda naught for Cl minus. Have you understood? Now let me take this minus inside, right? So we will get lambda naught for CH3COO minus plus lambda naught Na plus lambda naught H plus lambda naught Cl minus. Let me take this minus inside, minus lambda naught of Na plus minus lambda naught of Cl minus, right? So here we have plus lambda naught Na plus minus lambda naught Na plus. Let me cancel these two terms, right? Like that, plus lambda naught Cl minus lambda naught Cl minus. So these two terms will be cancelled. So what is remaining? Let me write. So lambda naught of CH3COO minus plus lambda naught of H plus, this term, right? So lambda naught of H plus. So what it together? Lambda naught of CH3COOH. CH3COOH. So we got the molar conductance, limiting molar conductance of acetic acid. So this is a weak electrolyte. By using the strong electrolytes, sodium acetate, hydrochloric acid and NaCl, we have calculated the limiting molar conductance of weak acid.